Imagine this. The color of your eyes might hint at your potential to develop alcohol dependence. Yes, you heard that right. In an eye-opening revelation, a study from the University of Vermont has suggested a fascinating correlation between eye color and one's likelihood of alcohol dependence. This compelling research involved over 1,263 European Americans. The researchers found that those with lighter eyes, hues of blue, green, grey, or even brown in the center, demonstrated a higher prevalence of alcohol dependence. And among these, the blue-eyed individuals topped the chart. Intriguing, isn't it? But before we jump to conclusions, it's important to remember that this study controlled for other variables, and the correlation discovered was strictly between genes responsible for eye color and those associated with alcohol dependence. The implications of these findings are potentially far-reaching, suggesting that eye color could serve as an indicator in diagnosing alcohol dependence. However, the exact cause of this correlation remains veiled, necessitating further research. Now, let's delve deeper into the findings of this intriguing study. So, what did this study from the University of Vermont discover? Let's delve into the intriguing findings. The research, conducted on over 1,200 European Americans, unearthed certain correlations between eye color and alcohol dependence. Perhaps most striking was the prevalence of alcohol dependence in individuals with light-colored eyes. Among these, those with blue eyes were found to have the highest rates of alcohol dependence. Now you might wonder, could other factors have influenced this outcome? Well, the researchers thought of that too. They controlled for a range of variables to ensure the results were not skewed by unrelated factors. What they found was quite remarkable. There was a significant interaction between the genes associated with eye color and those linked to alcohol dependence. In other words, it seems that these two seemingly unrelated traits, the color of your eyes and your susceptibility to alcohol dependence, might be tied together at a genetic level. What's even more fascinating is that these findings didn't just emerge out of the blue. They align with earlier research which suggested that individuals with light-colored eyes consumed more alcohol than their dark-eyed counterparts. This study from the University of Vermont only strengthens the argument, offering more robust evidence of a connection between light eye color and alcohol dependence. But what does this mean in a broader context? As we continue to uncover the mysteries of our genetic makeup, we're constantly reminded of how interconnected our traits can be. This study highlights one such unexpected connection between the color of our eyes and our relationship with alcohol. But remember, correlation doesn't always mean causation. While these findings are indeed intriguing, they're just one piece of a much larger puzzle. These findings might seem isolated, but they echo previous research in this field. Now, this isn't the first time scientists have stumbled upon a link between eye color and alcohol consumption. In fact, previous studies have also found that individuals with light-colored eyes, such as blue, green or grey, have a higher tendency to consume more alcohol than their darker-eyed counterparts. Why is this significant, you might ask? Well, when different studies independently arrive at similar results, it adds weight to the findings. It suggests that the observed correlation is less likely to be a mere coincidence or a result of some unaccounted factors. Instead, it points to a more deep-rooted, perhaps genetic association. So it's not just one study from the University of Vermont suggesting this link, but multiple studies over time have found a similar pattern. It's like pieces of a puzzle falling into place, each piece reinforcing the overall picture. The significance also lies in the potential implications of these findings. If a link between eye color and alcohol dependency is definitively established, it could revolutionize how we approach the diagnosis and treatment of alcohol dependence. Imagine a world where medical professionals could use something as simple as eye color as a risk factor in their diagnostic toolkit. It could potentially help in early intervention and prevention strategies. However, we must remember that these studies, including the one from the University of Vermont, are not saying that having light-colored eyes will inevitably lead to alcohol dependence. They are merely observing a correlation, a tendency, not a predetermined fate. Each human being is a complex interplay of genetics, environment, and personal choices. So, while these studies do provide valuable insights, they are not the entire story. They are part of a broader context of research, each study contributing a small piece to our understanding of human behavior and health. But correlation isn't causation, right? It's crucial to remember that a correlation, no matter how strong, doesn't imply causation. Now, this might sound like a mouthful of jargon, but it's a key distinction that can help us interpret studies like this, and it's simpler than it seems. Think of it this way: correlation is like a dance partnership. When one partner moves, the other follows in sync. In our case, we have light eye color and alcohol dependence doing this dance. As the prevalence of light eye color increases, so does the incidence of alcohol dependence. They move together, in tandem, but that doesn't mean one is leading the other. On the other hand, causation implies a direct cause and effect relationship. This would mean that light eye color directly causes an increased likelihood of alcohol dependence. But that's a bold claim to make, isn't it? It's like saying every time you eat ice cream, it's going to rain. Sure, you might have noticed it raining a few times after you've treated yourself, but does that mean your ice cream treat controls the weather? Likely not. In scientific research, proving causation requires rigorous testing, often through controlled experiments. In the case of our study, we can't simply change a person's eye color and see if their likelihood of alcohol dependence changes too. That's not ethically or practically possible. Therefore, while the study presents a fascinating correlation between light eye color and alcohol dependence, it doesn't prove that one causes the other. It's very important not to jump to conclusions based on correlational findings alone. This is a common pitfall, particularly when such findings are reported in the media. So, where does this leave us? Well, it's a reminder to approach such studies with an open but critical mind, considering the evidence presented, but always questioning, always curious. After all, that's the essence of scientific discovery. The study's findings pose some fascinating possibilities and questions. The implications of this research are indeed compelling. The idea that one's eye color could potentially be a diagnostic tool for alcohol dependence is a concept that could revolutionize the way we approach addiction. It's a potential game changer, a new piece in the complex puzzle of understanding human behavior and addiction. Imagine, if you will, walking into a doctor's office and instead of a lengthy questionnaire on your lifestyle habits, your physician simply looks into your eyes. A quick scan of your irises, and they have a better understanding of your predispositions. However, while this concept is intriguing, it's vital to remember that it is not a definitive answer. What we have here is a correlation, not causation. It's a piece of the puzzle, yes, but it's not the entire picture. The study itself acknowledges this, noting the necessity for further research to determine the exact cause of this correlation. The relationship between genes for eye color and genes associated with alcohol dependence requires deeper investigation. We need to delve deeper into the genetic interplay, the environmental factors, and the social aspects that might influence this correlation. It's also important to bear in mind the potential ethical considerations. What could this mean for those with light-colored eyes? Could this lead to stigmatization or discrimination? These are questions that need careful contemplation as we move forward in this line of research. Yet it's impossible to ignore the potential benefits. If this correlation proves to be a reliable predictor, it could lead to early interventions, better treatment plans, and ultimately more successful recovery outcomes. It could reshape our understanding of addiction, taking us one step closer to individualized treatment plans based on genetic predispositions. The color of our eyes, it seems, might hold more secrets than we ever imagined. As we continue to explore this fascinating connection, we are reminded of the complexity of the human body, the intricate interplay of genes, and the endless possibilities that lie within our very own eyes.